Hi, Tony here from Tech Happy Biz. I'm doing some case studies on local businesses. Do you have a garden center? That is the case study that I'm looking at right now. This is a real, currently active business, and I'm just doing a anonymous case study, looking at it from the outside. I hope you get some inspiration from this to really work on your business, whether it be a retail garden center or not. I'm going to refer to my notes every once in a while. Let's get started. This garden center has two locations. One location is a town, right? Basically in downtown. It's been there for a long time, so it used to be on the edge of town, but as the town grew, it really is more in town, which makes it more difficult to get to. Parking is limited, and there's really no size growth potential there. And the traffic to get to it is a little more intimidating than the new location, which is again on the outskirts of town, closer to all of the suburbs. There's growth potential, really good location for this. We're going to hit this in an organized area. First thing you have to do, whether you're looking at starting a business, buying a business, improving your own business. Number one, what do you sell? Being a garden center, this garden center sells plants, indoor, outdoor, perennial shrubs, garden supplies, garden accessories, plant supplements, pottery, bird food. Those are the things that they sell. Now, how are you going to differentiate yourself from all of your competitors, whether it be big box like Walmart, Home Depot, or other smaller competitors in the marketplace? Excuse me. Now, for garden centers, Home Depot and Walmart are big competitors on the market. How are you going to compete with them? Probably not on price. Adding value isn't always price dependent. So what can you do to serve your customers? That's not necessarily just on price. What can you do to wow them, give them more than what they expected? Can you offer consultations? Can you go right to their location and match them up with plants that will thrive for them in their spot? So you're going to save them money because your plants are going to last longer because they're better suited than you are. Can you offer delivery? Can you offer installation? Can you offer plant recipes so they know the things that they're putting together work together in a pot, their watering needs, their sun needs, as well as hitting all the points that they need for great design? Now, this particular garden center offers many different services as well. Everything from tool sharpening to plant installation, watering when you're out of town, commercial, interior scaping, many different services. Now, one thing I was thinking, especially for water it for you when you're out of town, an add-on to really consider is there are systems that you can buy and rent out to set up to do automated watering, both for their indoor plants, for their outdoor plants, for their new plantings. You could rent these systems out for when they're going. Go to their houses, set them up for them, get them going. They can pay extra if they want you to check on them. And an added bonus, they might want to buy the system after they used it and saw how well it worked while they're on vacation. They want it there forever, so be able to sell these systems as well. I'll link below some of the systems that I really like, and they would be a great add-on, both sales and service. It will save this garden center time from having to go out and actually hand water all the time. You'll be able to add on the interior houseplant watering because they can set up a system and not have to actually enter the house to do so. So it saves security for them. There's so many ways they can expand on this. Also, since they have two locations and one of them is in town, a really great thing to do is instead of having two garden centers that kind of overlap, they're within about 10-15 minutes of each other. They're going to step on each other's toes as far as selling plants. Have one be the location that they're doing their sharpening out of, their commercial interior scaping out of, where there are teams that are going out to do the watering or the doing your container gardens right on site where they're based out of. Have those service-based sections there so you open up more space for just plant retail in the other location. Now, do have spring pop-up annual sales right in that second location that is in town, because people are going to buy, you're going to be closer by. Grab that while you're there. But for the rest of the year, that's a real minor side part. You really use that as that location for your services. Gotten off track a little bit. Now, the second thing you need to do after you've determined what you're selling is, who is your ideal client? Now, yes, of course, you'll sell to anybody. That's great. But who is your ideal client? What is their age bracket, their wage bracket, their location? What is their experience? What is what are their needs? What does their family look like? Are they located geographically? Is this an online? Is this a on-site customer? Once you figure out who your ideal customer is, you can build your branding, your marketing, everything about your store around that ideal client, and it will attract your ideal client to your shop. Again, you can service anybody, you can sell to anybody, but your ideal client is who your business is built around. Take some time building this ideal client, but once you have this nailed down, how do you want them to feel? Products don't sell things. What it doesn't sell things. What it looks like doesn't sell things. Feeling sells. So how do you want your ideal client to feel? What feelings do you want it to evoke? From there, you build your branding and your marketing around what feeling you want your store to have, what feeling you want your store to evoke in your customer, in your ideal customer. The branding is going to include your colors, your fonts, your imagery, the message, your purpose statements. Why are you there? What do you want to do? How do you want to serve your clients? Your taglines, and who you are as a business. How are you going to identify? The next step is you build your customer experience. And again, these are bricks that are building your foundation. So as things are developing, one step leads to the next. You can't build your client experience until you know what your branding is. Can't build your branding until you know who your ideal client is. You're not going to know who your ideal client is until you've determined what you're going to sell. So each step builds upon the other. Now for customer experience, again, we go back to how we want the customer to feel, how you want to serve them. Start at the parking lot. What does it look like when they're trying to find your shop? This particular business case study, the front of the shop is not right on the road. Their shop is behind another shop. So you can drive by and not even know they were there because they're situated behind another shop. So how are they going to find you? How welcoming is the driveway to get to where you are? How are they going to know that you're there? How are you going to stand out? Once you get in, what does the parking look like? Is the parking easy to navigate? This business has actually two. They can come in one section and they can leave out another section, which is great because then you can control that traffic flow. It can go both ways, but if you can direct it to try to go in just that one direction, you really maximize that customer experience. Have them come in, have them get parked in an area. I'd recommend the special parking. There should be an area of where they're picking up, let's say like the bag goods or loading their car up with their shrubs and things. When they're done, they've paid, they get in their car, they drive up, someone's going to load in their bag goods and their shrubs, things that they've already paid for, and then they drive right out that back entrance. Nice, smooth, simple. You make things easy, you make things simple for your customer, they're going to come back again. Now, depending upon the local regulations and your relationships with either the businesses or the homeowners that are along the roads that's going to the garden centers, this one I'd recommend. They have great relationships. See if you can put up some of those political size signs. Open a loop up with telling a joke, starting a thought, something so each sign you read the first, the second follows up, the third follows up, and then signs continue down the drive. So for them to find, the punchline to the joke, find the answer to the question, any of these thoughts, even something simple as looking for annuals, looking for perennials, looking for, bird seed. Next turn on the right, have them line that road and building collaborations with businesses or homeowners along that way. You can always work something out, talk with them, find out what their needs are, see how you can help each other. Collaborate, make exchanges. Maybe something like this is only needed on Mother's Day weekend or for the couple of weeks surrounding Mother's Day weekend. But how fun would that be to actually have that leading? And again, if you can turn it into an open loop where that curiosity of I may not necessarily be looking to buy something at the garden center, but I want to know what the answer to this is so they know they can find you. Then when they do want something that you are selling, when they do want to buy hanging basket, when they're looking for a gift for one of their gardening friends, they'll remember that they found you and they'll be able to find you again. Now, when they enter your property, more on the customer experience. What do you want them to see, hear, feel, smell? Do you want to have running a soundtrack of birds in a rainforest, waterfall in a garden park, a soundtrack of a gardening podcast? The possibilities are limitless here. But again, this is going to go back to exactly how you want your client to feel. So there's a couple ideas to get your juices flowing, but I can't tell this garden center what sounds to focus on because I don't know what their feel is. It's unlimited what you can do here. Have that sound where you can hear it or can just barely hear it in the parking lot. Draw them in. Scents. Scents don't have to be only floral scents because the garden centers can smell great, but they can also sometimes have your chemical fertilizer smell where you have your chemicals. If you have the organic fertilizers, they can smell a little, we'll just say organic. So scent is something to think about. There are commercial scent makers that you can put at strategic locations, like just outside the door when they're going to enter in areas. You can have scents that are anywhere from fresh linen to, the sea breezes. They don't have to be just floral. Scents are a strong, strong memory trigger. So think about where your clients might be, where you want them to think of you. So if you want them to be at home when they want to think of you, think of smells they're going to smell at home. Whether it be something family like apple pie or again like the fresh linen, that you want to make connections with scent. And it's very subtle and not in your face, but very powerful. Now, some of the processes that can be used here. Now, think completely of your customer's path within your space. This is a great place to do something along the maze type of pathway. Think IKEA, but on a lower scale. You want every customer to see every segment of what you offer. So I would recommend working on a pathway that everyone goes in one entrance. From the entrance, between the displays and the building lines and the benches that you have, direct them. You can even put arrows on the ground to direct. It'd be amazing how much people will follow an arrow to direct their paths. Now, you want side shoots, sort of like cul-de-sacs that come off from that main road. This is where all of our perennials are. This is where all of our annuals are. This is where all of our bird goods are. But have that main path be the same for everyone, that they have to follow that path to get through and see the different segments that you have before they get to be able to check out again. People only shop for as much as they can carry at once. So you've got to have large carts. You've got to have areas that is convenient for them to go and unload and go back and get more and to say, this is everything that I've picked out. And have people at those locations that they can take down what they have. They can suggest add-ons, suggest fertilizers, suggest mulches, suggest companion plants, suggest other things, answer their questions, and make sure that they have everything that they need. As well as everything either written down, or if you have iPads, that your POS will go on, have everything put in there, and have it connected with their name and email, if at all possible, so that when the person is finished, they can go up to the actual just checkout where they can cash, check, credit card can all run through there. But the only thing they're doing that's tying up that register is just paying. It's already all been entered. If they have a last minute add-on, of course they'll be able to add on, but they're just paying for it. It's all over there. So you don't have to have these huge wide lines going in. You don't have a whole bunch of people just waiting in line just to pay. And then from there, they take their receipt, they jump in the car, go to wherever the place is you have set for them to load up. They can load in all their plants, drive to the spot where they have all the bag goods. Someone is there that will load all their bag goods for them. They don't even need to get out of the car and drive out that back sector. That made it easy for them to shop, made it easy for them to get as much as what they really need, not limited by what they can carry at once. No one is annoyed by the long lines because they're getting their questions answered. That's where the bulk of your people are. And you need less of the POS equipment. There's more control over your money, checks, credit cards, because there's fewer points there, because that's not going to cause a bottleneck for you there. So really consider that. Really open your mind up to different ways and different paths of getting people their product, getting it into your systems, and getting them back out the door. Also, when they're getting loaded, always offer a branded plastic for protection of the car. You can even sell, again, always make them branded, reusable car protectors, something that's going to be more environmentally friendly than something just like with the sheets of plastic as options for them. But again, make sure their car is protected. Offer this to them. One other thing to consider, especially in the 2 weeks before and 2 weeks after Mother's Day, offer personalized shoppers and pickup. The pickup is going to be very important because people are busy and you want to move as many customers through your space as possible. So if they can drive in, pick up all their annual plans that they want because they don't care to browse, they just want to make it quick and simple and easy. They want to pre-order. Make it simple for them. Again, I think it's best to only offer during that really busy time to help you maximize the clients that you're moving through there. Also have it be branded as a personal shopper, because who wants a random person picking out their produce? So one of the things that grocery stores I think really struggle with is when customers want to come in and are looking for their produce. They will do pickup for box goods and things, but when they have produce, they want to pick it out themselves. So that's why you want to lean on personal shopper. Someone is going to go pick, the best plant that's there for them. And this is really aimed at the customers that aren't, I want this particular shade of salmon impatiens. They're saying, hey, I am looking for a red impatient. You can do that. I want something that's variegated. I want a annual. Really aim it towards the people who are going to be less choosy and really value having someone who knows plants go and actually pick that out for them and have it ready so they can just drive in, pay, and load it. It's already all picked out for them. This is something that is really worth exploring. Again, to maximize the clients that you're able to move through your location in those super busy times. Now for digital presence. This is the next step to think about. Yes, this garden center is on Facebook and they have their own website. They're on Instagram. So those are all good things. However, they have 2 Facebook pages, which I'll put up here. You can see the original location has very few people who are subscribed to the page, a few views. And you'll see that they don't have a location listed. They don't have a website listed. The only thing that they have is a phone number. You need to give all that information out to be able to get people there and to build that trust. It's confusing because it looks like there's one location that has 2 Facebook pages. You really need to differentiate and think design-wise how to differentiate between the 2 locations even better. They do have the address up in the title of the Facebook page of one of the locations and not in the other. That's a good start, but you can really move further to make it clearer. make that same logo perfect, but make the border image completely different. Get a picture of your actual location so they can see this is this location, this one's this location. Be sure there's connection that people can visit and move from one location to the other if they want. It's great to have the same things posted, which you are doing a fabulous job of getting them posted to both pages because it's very relevant to both pages. But if you take my advice and really differentiate one location from the other, the business services are really focused at one location and just the spring push, and whereas your workshops and everything is on your other one. You'd be sure to really say, yes, we've got this workshop going, have it on both locations, make sure it's super pointed towards which location's having that workshop. So you have two ways to draw people to one location or the other. I also noticed I didn't see Pinterest anywhere. Pinterest is a huge gathering place, especially for gardeners, which are your target market. Now, I know recently they seem to be overrun with AI-generated images, which is why it's super important that you put in real pictures. Get pictures of your location, of things that you've built, faces of the people who work there, so they can tell these are real pictures of real people, real locations, real plant recipes, real things going on, pictures that talk about your workshops so that you're building trust and authority. Don't try to follow all the rest of the pictures on Pinterest. Now, one thing that's great about Instagram, they do have an Instagram, which is wonderful, but they're two completely different platforms. Instagram is a river of photos. And if you happen to catch someone's eye, then they can follow it to your website. They can find where you are, that's great, but it's a snapshot in time and then it's gone. Pinterest is a search engine. So if you have pins up there about shade plants and someone goes into Pinterest and searches for shade plants, they can find your pin. It's like a pool with a search engine to get what people want rather than a river just flowing by off to the ocean somewhere where they're never going to see again. So Pinterest is very important. Now you can reuse the same images for Pinterest and Instagram. So this doesn't have to add a lot of extra work, but you're going to find that as those images, you start building a greater and greater pool, especially getting them labeled for the different things people are looking for. And these people who are looking for them are your target clients. Pinterest is a valuable place to be in. Also YouTube. I didn't see any YouTube. Now, if you're thinking about YouTube, like, oh, I want to have a video that's going to go viral, I'm going to build a whole section and be an influencer on YouTube, that is not what you're looking for. YouTube is very valuable for small businesses, because what you're using it for is where it excels. You are building authority, you're building trust. You don't care if you have 5 million followers all over the world. You just want 50, 100, 150, 200 local followers that want to see you. So YouTube is just a place to, one, their search engine. So if someone's looking for shade annuals in your whatever location, it will surface and it'll find it for you. Once they find you, they watch, they feel like they know you. They feel like they're friends with you. You build the trust, you build the authority. And YouTube is basically just hosting your videos. So from there, you can take those and share them on your Instagram. You can share them on Pinterest and have them on your website. You're doing a great job with workshops, which is fantastic. I highly recommend that. And just please continue with that. One thing to add, take someone's phone, record that workshop. Super bonus points if you put a travel microphone attached to the one who's hosting the workshop, and have them, when people are doing DIY questions, people are asking questions, instead of just answering the question, they repeat the question and then answer it. Super simple. Host those all on YouTube. Have a section of your website that has all of these workshops so people know what to expect when they get to a workshop. Plus, again, the trust and the expertise that is built from this. When you want to get fancy, then you can start editing things in if you want. But just start simply with recording your workshops, especially with sound, because sound is super important. That is a great place to start your YouTube channel. Let's say that you're advertising for a workshop. Have someone come on, talk about it. The person who's going to be presenting the workshop. Talk through some of the things that you're going to be doing, some of the things that you're going to be presenting. Show them some of these things. Build the excitement. And again, the trust and the authority. It's really going to increase all of your workshop attendees. I noticed on Facebook that you have some great individual posts about individual plants to really educate people about the plants and show them that you have them and how to use them. Do the same thing, but on video. You'll be building up this video library where people can refer to. When people have questions, they know they can go to and look at. You can pull from for your different postings every year. You don't have to make a whole new post every year. You can pull one of these informational ones that you made 3 years ago. You've got that library to pull from. It's a huge resource for you. Another really important digital presence is your website. Now, it's good that you have a website. There is one thing that I think you can make some immediate improvements and super boost the impact of that website. When you pull it up, what you see is right here. There is a gray box, welcome to, and a very generic statement. The city's premier destination for quality, expertise, and selection. That exact same line can be found on a pool company, a steel storage shed company. That exact same line can go to any business. You have a great garden center with great people with expertise there. That just shines when you get there. But you take one look at the Above the Fold website, and the Above the Fold is that section that you see before you start to scroll. That's your Above the Fold. There is no color. Good thing you have a phone number, but there's no location. It's almost like you're assuming everyone knows where you are. The website can be a huge salesperson for you. For someone who is new to town and says, where can I buy my annuals? Who can be about garden ponds? Where can I get my tools sharpened? This brings none of your fantastic energy and fantastic location and what you have to offer and personality. I think you were going for, professional and minimalist and clean, but it came off as boring and just bland. It doesn't inspire action. It doesn't inspire anyone to find out more about you. It doesn't inspire anyone to come there. So a couple of things to make some immediate changes to your website is to get your location, I can punch in my GPS location at the top of the fold, all your contact info that you want them to contact you on. Do you want to encourage people to come to your location, or do you want them to call? Put your location top, front, and center. Good to have your phone number there as well, but primary is your location because you want them to come to where you are and know where you are. Also, the social icons right up at the top, which is again, that premier space. Is the purpose of your website to send people to your Facebook or your Instagram? If it is, I want you to think about it differently. Twitter and X suddenly threw everyone off. You're not going to have suddenly someone throw up a paywall, so suddenly you can't have a Facebook page unless you're paying a paywall first. You want to use the social media, the Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, to send traffic to your website, because your website is like your physical store. This is your digital presence. And all these other places should be funneling them to your website where you have all the control and be able to connect with your clients. So have it sent the other way. You don't want your website sending people to your social media. Social media is to send people to you, whether it be digitally or in person. I don't know what your branding colors are. I'm not sure if you've come up with branding colors. Get your branding colors, get them on that front page. It doesn't need to be an image or a video with movement and all that. That just distracts from what you're trying to do. But get your branding colors in there. Maybe it's a still photo. Get some personality in there. It can still be minimalist and clean. Maybe it's a still photo of your location, of, something. Personality in there. It can still be minimalist and clean and non-distracting. Don't go with just a bland gray. Nothing in the garden besides concrete is gray. Do you sell anything that is gray? Gotta have something different. There's not even a logo there. You've got a logo. Get your logo up in there. Even if that replaces the gray spot, there's not a photo of something, put a larger logo behind where you're saying things. Gotta have something different. Also, the social icons right up at the top, which is, again, that is premier space. Is the purpose of your website to send people to your Facebook or your Instagram? If it is, because your website is yours, you control what's on it, you control whether it's up, whether it's down. Now back to that one line you had on there that was very generic, could apply to any business for your store. So these are just some ideas to get the wheels turning for you to think about what you want to put there to be your one statement that says what your business is all about. So some ideas I'm going to read off: not just a garden center, your horticultural guide and project partner, or the confidence of expert guidance, the joy of doing it yourself, or your space, your style, your garden, our know-how behind it. Come curious, leave confident with the right plants and the right plan. Or more than a shop, your go-to team for green living and lasting beauty. The tools, tips, and team to help your ideas take root. Or some shorter taglines you can also use in your social media. From backyard to boardroom, green solutions that grow. That would really aim towards doing the corporate interior scaping. You want to make sure to tag, to touch on everything that is important and crucial to your business. Your partner in plants, projects, and possibility. Green thumbs start here. Support for every gardener from first try to masterpiece. From consultation to container, we make it happen. Nature, knowledge, neighborhood. Again, I don't know your business intimately. This is just a case study from looking from the outside. But these are just some ideas, thoughts of what you want to say, what you want to distill down that encompasses and says your business. Now for marketing campaigns. Now, one of the biggest challenges for this particular case study garden center is you can't see them from the road. You have to actually go down their driveway and their location is behind another store. So why don't you lean into that? Think the best kept secret in town, the place where people in the know go. Lean into that feeling, like a speakeasy or a secret rave party. Have promotions that are just for your VIP customers. Have secret passwords that give them extra discounts at the counter that they have to be either whispered or a secret phrase they have to weave into conversation with the cashier to be able to get their secret discount. Something that they know they can share with their friends, like people. Oh, we know people share their Netflix password, so they're going to share their password. Oh, I've got a garden place for you. This is where I get all my things. Here's the password to get an extra discount. Keep it exclusive and really make it fun and very VIP. Let your customers think they're part of a secret club or spies, or, really lean into the fun of this. I've made a note here I really want to read off to you on how to implement this. Take the one idea that you find fun and your team finds fun. Brainstorm with your staff for over a week or two period of ways to bring hidden, secret, and exclusive promos into your location. Bring the second location into a scavenger hunt. After people come in and over time, they search through your store, your location, and the secondary location for these bits and collect the stamps or the pictures of the actual scavenger items and have them either submitted digitally or through a postcard, and you can pull out winners. The scavenger hunt is something you can really go big on social. Talk about it beforehand, talk about it during, have a big video and social media event when you're pulling the big winner out. This is some way to get people into your location, finding everything that you have, and again, making it super fun. Again, lean into your ideal client. Do they want something for them, for a group of people, their friends, family-friendly events? Lean into something they can fall back into into your traditions, thinking around holidays or even their own personal birthdays, something they can build yearly traditions around that they're going to do and revisit every year. That is a gold mine. Lean into the slow times for these. For inspiration, think about bridges that have the padlocks on them, signaling, enduring love that people, when they got engaged, they would get together and put their own special padlock on the bridges forever. Think about special places that people want to go to have their proposals and to have their engagements. Right now, I've seen that you've done yoga in the greenhouse. That is fantastic. It doesn't have to be a direct line from something that you're selling in the store and a direct line to it. So the yoga is something, you don't sell anything yoga. That's okay. You're bringing people to your location, especially during your slower times. A lot of people that are active and doing yoga either are or can be plant people. Move this into the family. Have book clubs. Have story times, both for the younger kids, school age kids, tweens. Have short books for the younger kids. Think about longer novel readings like, The Hobbit, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, if you're more classically minded, because these are great stories, or something more current. Especially for the tweens, you need someone who is a great reader. So maybe you're doing just a chapter at a time. I see that you are located by a couple of daycare areas and learning academies. Lean into their schedules, when they're letting out, when they're coming in, when are people going to be around and available and really want to come and gather there, and have it being gathered at your site. Because you want them to, again, since you're not right on the road, you need them to know how to find you. And even if these people are not currently gardeners, they may become gardeners, or they have friends that are gardeners, and then they have a go-to place where they can go to for gifts. Groups of people who are very close to your ideal clients, but may or may not be gardeners yet. Can you have front porch hanging basket parties? They can come in, help them choose what they want for their front porch, or even have a front porch potted up party. So they come in, help them choose what to put in, help them pot it up right there, keep all the mess there at the store. So they bring home something unique, something that they put together, they had great input in, they love, but they bring it home, it's already all complete. Instead of a wine and paint, have a kombucha and hang a basket party. Or edible gardens. Have a whole series. Now again, when we're talking about holidays, Christmas and Thanksgiving, lean into the heavy family traditions. You want people to start making coming to your spot part of, yes, we do this every year. Around Halloween, see if you can have carved pumpkin displays. If there's a way that people can drive by, have a trick-or-treating out of the trunks of your car's location is a great location for that. Have a haunted greenhouse. event, something where people are coming to your location. Now for Christmas, one really great thing, you can have a tree lighting ceremony. Bring in the ice skating rinks that are portable. You can set them up indoors or outdoors. It's not real ice. Start it really small. Have it only available for maybe a special weekend or something. Eventually that will grow so that you're going to have it over the entire Christmas season. And everyone has a tradition that they come and they ice skate every year. Have a local craftsman or yourself have a line of, say, reindeer, where there is a father reindeer, a mother reindeer, all the kid and the baby reindeer. First year they come in, if they have a family already, they buy one for each of their kids and themselves, and they set that up. And every time there is either a new grandbaby or a niece or a nephew, they come in and they buy a new one to add to their collection. And then as this goes on from generation to generation, when they were kids, they had their own reindeer. When they get married, they get their mama reindeer and their daddy reindeer. And with their first baby, they get their first baby reindeer. Again, lean into traditions. You don't have to do all of these things. Pick something. I'm just brainstorming here. Pick something that makes sense for you, something that excites you, and that fits into where you want your store to go. To hear other business case studies or other ideas you can put in with your business, click here, see what else you find. Good luck. This is just something I do because I love pulling these things together. And this is my way to just add value to my community where it is pro bono.